All right. So, yeah. So, if this is your first time watching my videos, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Nicholas Falcone. I have been overtly targeted by the supercomputer and the neural monitoring system since about 2015, 2016, hearing the chatbot. So the difference between overt and covert, really quick, is hearing the chatterbot and not hearing the chatterbot. That is the only difference between overt and covert. So I will overtly hear the chatbot and I will be overtly ran through the protocol steps to my more than likely cancer death, because these phases of implemented electrical microwave energy are being implemented on me consistently all the way up until there is manifestation or tumors in your body. You know, there's show signs of tumors if you're going to get cancer, heart deterioration, or organ deterioration, bone deterioration, connective tissue deterioration. This energy deteriorates human anatomy. So I want to say thank you. One or two people reached out in this early phase, in these early stages of me making these videos, to ask me how I'm doing. They appreciated my videos, and I really appreciate the humanity that is shown by these people. It really means a lot to me, and I hope wherever you are and you're watching this, that you're doing well as you can be. I offer no solution to your problem. I don't have a solution to your problem. The shitty part about this is that if you are being hit with the directed energy, it is going to give you a problem, whatever it is. And running to the doctor to tell them about something that hasn't come about yet is pointless. I called the University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Douglas B. Smith's office, the guy who was paid multi-millions of dollars. The University of Pennsylvania did the Havana syndrome research study. I spoke with his office, the lead neurological doctor. He's a traumatic brain injury doctor, as the computer helps me through. It never shuts the fuck up, by the way. The computer's always fucking talking, always. It's a simulation-based system. So all it is just running through the simulation steps. As you talk and as you think, the computer is calculating every 100 or less milliseconds. The computer is making another calculation of, what do I do? What do I say? What do I do? What do I say? In your brain. So it's helping me with my thought process, but it's interfering with my thought process. So Dr. Douglas B. Smith is a traumatic brain injury neuroscientist, research scientist at the University of Pennsylvania. I called his office, spoke to him twice for an hour. Not him, I spoke to the nurse that answered the phone for the total time of about an hour. So she didn't just shush me off the phone. She said, "We know what it is. We know it's a computer program. We know what's doing this to you guys. We don't have any control over it." And that makes a lot of sense. Perfect sense. Can't argue with that. They know what it is. They know what it does. They have no control over it. They can't turn it off for you. So we just had a good conversation. And that was it. And she said, I said, "Well, I'm going to get cancer from this shit." And she said, "Do you have cancer now?" I said, "No, not yet, but I will have cancer." And she interacted with me because I spoke like a doctor. I spoke like somebody with some intelligence. That's what you have to do. You have to speak with intelligence. You have to inform yourself. Watch my videos and inform yourself. So that way, when you do go to the doctor, you'll be smart enough to bring a book with you. Bring this book with you. How to Project Soul Catcher. Bring this book with you. How to Tame a Demon, and say, "Look, I'm not nuts." All of those pages tell you I'm not nuts. That's all I did when I went to the doctors. I brought these with me and said, "Here, look, I'm not nuts, dude. Like, I don't have a lot longer to live, you know." This is just a fact of it. Why would this system automatically begin to automatically stop? The Havana syndrome people had it automatically stop, I believe, because there was such a big spotlight on their names, on their identities, and stuff like that. So to have it continue would be kind of like, that's weird. And then they would be immediately subject to, like, you know, but anyway, pointless. We, me and you, the lay people, don't even exist to 60 minutes. If you look up 60 minutes Havana syndrome stuff, I'll get to this in a second here. The sexual desocialization, that's what this is going to be about. If you want, you can fast forward to the beginning of the lecture on sexual desocialization and the alleviation of our marriages, our boyfriend-girlfriend, our intrapersonal relationships. That is what this video is going to be about. But we don't exist in the news. We don't exist as people that are being put to death with a computer system. There has been tens of thousands, if not more, people before us, and there will be people after us. So, like I said, I don't offer a solution to your problem. I only offer you a glimpse at somebody else that is going through the same thing, that is deteriorating just as well as you are, if you're somebody who's being hit with the energy. And I just want to make these to let you guys know that you're not alone, that there is somebody else on this planet that is going through what you're going through to some degree or another. And I hope the best possible course for any of you guys. I don't know you, but if you want to know me, watch this video. And if you want me to know you, feel free to comment down below and leave a comment and interact with me. So that's it. I've been recorded covertly since about the late 80s, early 90s. This system has been ongoing since the 70s. And it's just a continuation of mind control technologies. And that's it. So watch my other videos. You'll see more of me. You'll see more of the specificities of this the individual pieces of this system. It is a simulation system. It simulates humanity out there. It doesn't have to kill people. It simulates people out there, marriages, kids, all kinds of shit. So let's get into it. Let me grab my markers over here. And as always, go out and get yourself an EMF detector. I'm not so blasted anymore. You know, this is just a cheap TCL Alcatel phone. I'm not so blasted anymore with this. It's more in my mouth, in my throat, in my tongue, and just relegated to my intraoral space. So it's going to be oral and maxillofacial, along with, you know, probable testicular cancer, and we'll get into that with the sexual desocialization here in a minute. My feet, the tops and bottoms of my feet, which is, it's a degrading energy. So it's degrading my bone, it's degrading my connective tissue, it's degrading my muscle tissue, and everything to do with my feet. So eventually, I won't be able to walk, or I'll just break my fucking foot. So I assume that's why you see so many people out here with broken feet and shit like that. So if it's automatically started, it's not going to automatically stop. The only way it stops is when you're dead. All right, with that positivity, let's get on with it. The only reason you're targeted is because you have a human brain. So let me go on with that too, because every video I feel like I have to say this too, because everybody's like, why, how, why me, who, why, how, ooh, how, what did I do? I wasn't bad, I wasn't good, I wasn't this, I wasn't that. What about them? How about her? What about him? He's an asshole. He beats his wife. What about this person? They do that. They do this. I didn't do any of that. It doesn't matter. Does not matter what you did, who you are, what you didn't do, and who you aren't. The only reason that this system has capabilities over me and you and somebody else is because you have a human brain. It's called compatibility. So this system is only compatible with human neural patterns and human brains. Had you had a dog brain, you wouldn't be on this system. There may be a Dr. Dolittle system. They probably investigated dogs, cats, elephants, and their neural patterns, and then hit them with the smart dust, hit them with the nanoparticles, so that way it would assimilate to their neurons. So that way you can control dogs and cats and all that shit too. I'm sure there's a Dr. Dolittle program. But for our purposes here, you have a human brain, I have a human brain, and that's the whole system. The whole system, is compatible to human brains. They have human neural patterns. That's how they function us. That's how they move us. That's how they put us to sleep. That's how they wake us up. That's how they make us look left and look right. That's how they get us married to people we don't want to marry. That's how they have us have kids with people we don't want to have kids with. It's a simulation of human life via the neurological means. And it's everybody. It's not just you. It's not just me. It's not just 10 other people on YouTube that are targeted. It's every single person on this fucking planet. All right. So again, the only reason that you're on this system and you're targeted is because you have a human brain, which leaves the possibility open for anybody that's a human that's alive right now, which makes 8 billion possibilities. So stop it with the fucking, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I did this, I did that. Oh, but what if I do this? How about if I go and do that? Will it stop? Will it think that I'm cool? Will it think that I'm good? Or no, it doesn't give a fuck. It's like the system does not give a fuck. And there are no humans on this bitch. It's a fucking AI system that voice modulates. So I heard one time, I read, I know who it is on here. For 17 years, it's been the same voice. Think about that for a second. I know who it is on here. For 17 years, it's been the same voice. I read that shit and I was like, another fucking idiot. Like, a voice in your head. How in the fuck do you know who anybody is, human or computer, because of a voice in your fucking head that you haven't seen shit? Like, fucking idiots. And then another one was, so what happened with this one I read was like, oh, I know that it's my neighbor doing this to me because when I looked out the window, I saw my neighbor getting into the car and pulling out of their driveway, and all of a sudden the physical attack stopped. I'll tell you exactly what that was. The computer, the AI system in your head, to your subconscious level, to this person, not you obviously, told them to get up, walk to the window as their neighbor who's on the system as well, because remember, everybody's on the system, got out and went into their car while they were mangling, physically attacking the person, not the neighbor, the AI system, and had them look to notice the neighbor is not at a computer, and then it shut it off as soon as they noticed that. And it was like, oh my God, it's got to be them. They're not at the computer harming me now. So unfortunately, there's a lot of stupid people out there that are never going to get the idea that 99% of the time it's an AI chatterbot that has the same exact capabilities as a human that would manually interface with the system. All right. So knock it off with the fucking, it's my neighbor. They have a ray gun and they're pointing it at me and they're shooting it through the floor of my apartment shit. All right. So now we're going to get to the video. Sexual desocialization. So me, you, and 99.9% of the people I've seen that I have seen with their videos and the targeting are sexually desocialized, meaning you used to be married, right? So a lot of you guys maybe were married, you had a lot of marital discourse, I call it, arguing, fighting. You find the cell phone is open and there's a lady's phone number in there or a text message. The female, male, finding these clues. The computer will have them leave shit laying around. So that way you will argue and fight and then it causes problems. So that way your marriage is no more. You will end up getting a divorce. The divorce is expensive. It's nasty. There may be kids. So we'll also go with married and then kids. Put it over here in a different color. So you got kids involved in the marriage. So then you got child support potentially. You got that going on. It's all chaotic. This happened to my brother, by the way. He ended up getting a divorce. He started doing drugs and she was gambling and there was, ooh, you're with this chick and what are you doing with the gambling and the shady credit card? It's just basic all the way through. So when I say sexual desocialization, I mean not just sex. I mean also ruining marriages, just relationships in general. So relationships in general, not just marriages, could be friendships, but mainly I'm pointing towards the idea of boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. But also, you know, if you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife, that it could be a close personal friendship, family, brother, sister, mom, dad. It looks to ruin relationships. So that way you're desocialized, you know, and even if you're in the later stages of targeting and you're back out, you have a job, you're doing the same shit again, it doesn't matter. You still go home by yourself like I do. So anything I'm saying up here relates to me as well. Don't discount me from this. I had a 6-year relationship with my daughter's mother, which was, sorry about that, which was incited by the computer system. The AI system gave me what I called a microwave relationship. Sorry, one second. It gave me a microwave relationship. So what that is really quickly is the idea that the supercomputer is involved in pairing you up with somebody and then making that continue. So for me, 6 years, you know, I kept going, I don't want to be with this chick. In my head, I didn't want nothing to do with her. This was fucking stupid. I was taking care of her 3 kids. It was just fucking stupid. So then, you know, finally it came down to, let me write this as well. It created my daughter with her. So it creates children. So it creates kids as well. All that it needs is an ovulation test. I'll get to that in a second. But the microwave relationship. So when you're out, as soon as you look at somebody in your head, you go, oh, wow, I like that person. Ooh, I like this about them. And it listens to your head. And then it'll jump into their head and it'll look into their neurological background and see what they're doing, what they're about, what they've been up to. And if you're targeted in a negative light or a negative aspect, it's going to look for negative people that have negative profitability. So negative profitability is somebody that would pair up well with somebody who's in a negative light with the system. So for me, it was her. She was on drugs. When I met her, she barely working. She was working, but she had 2 kids already, was just impregnated with another kid. And then I found that out later on that it wasn't my kid. So it was just a fucking mess. But for 6 years, I was forced to stay with this chick off and on from the microwave relationship protocol. And then what happened was, and this gets to the sexual desocialization as well. So then what happened was around 2015, 2016, 2017, in that era when I was first being overtly targeted with the chatterbot, hearing the voice, you know, going, what the fuck is that? Well, what happened was how they create the kids in the system is all they need is an ovulation test. That's all they need to create a child. So what happened was she got the ovulation test. She got a Dollar Tree ovulation test, and I was living in an apartment with her at this time, and our daughter was born in 2018, December 29th, 2018. So figure that out. About 9 months before that, I had came back here to this is my house here. I had come back here, was living here for a little bit, but what the computer needed me to do was to go back down to the apartment there, and for 3 days, ovulation tests. So what happened was she got the ovulation test. She left the box laying out. But while I was down there, we had sex for 3 straight days. Then I came back here. This was all the supercomputer did all this shit through the simulation system. Got me back down there, and then I came back here. And before I came back here, I saw the box, the ovulation test box. Let's say this is the ovulation test box this night. And it was sitting in the hallway on the table. Now, what fucking person is going to leave an ovulation test box on a hallway table if they're trying to secretly get impregnated? Nobody. What that was a catalyst to degrading relationships in general. You have to look out for these little tiny catalysts, I call them, or like these little things the computer system makes people do that will start an argument or a relationship problem. So we go, it's called marital discord. So marital arguments, marital fights, marital problems, or relationship problems. Relationship problems, discord. So those little things like that, it told her to leave that ovulation test box out. It needed her to get the ovulation test because it has to see through her eyes and listen to her head when she's ovulating. It has to know that 3-day window. So that way, at least one of those 3 days, you're inseminating her. So it needs her to get the ovulation test. We're always ready to go as men. Women aren't always ready to go. It's only 3 days a month. So once that thing, ran through a couple tests, piss. She wasn't trying to get pregnant. She already had 3 fucking kids she couldn't take care of. But the computer needed this kid to be a possibility because anything that is going to be possible in your targeting needs to be set up ahead of time. Whatever storyline you're going to be put on. This is going to sound familiar to a lot of you people. So the ovulation test box, I saw it, didn't even argue with her, didn't do nothing, didn't say nothing, came running back here. 3 days I had sex with her. And I remember when it happened. I was like, what the fuck? I would never have done that, I'm not that stupid. Unfortunately, I would have taken her to get a Plan B pill because that's what I always used to do. If we had done shit like that, I would have taken her to get a fucking Plan B pill. No fucking doubt. I didn't want no kids with this chick. It was this goddamn microwave relationship bullshit. Kept me fucked up with this chick. So that's it. I'm pissed about it. So anyway, the ovulation test works. I end up getting in some trouble a long time ago. It's 2018. So then she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? What, bitch? Like, you have 3 kids you can't take care of. You're a bum, Like, what the fuck do you want another kid for? Go take care of your 3 kids you got. I'm sorry. So, anyway, that's 2018. Beginning of 2018. So, she won't hear it about the fucking don't have this fucking kid bullshit because the computer's not going to let her get rid of that kid or that, that embryo. It's not even a fucking kid. It's not going to let her get rid of that embryo because it went through so much trouble to get her to get the ovulation test. It's taken months, maybe a month or 2 for her to be available on the 3 days and that I'm there and that, this whole thing has to happen. It's not just one day and you're done. This is a whole thing this system has to simulate. So anyway, the microwave relationship keeps going on. It created my daughter, who's now 8 fucking years old, 29th of December, 2018. I haven't had shit to do with her because the computer system had that all fucked up. So I end up throwing her out of here because the computer she came here, I brought her here and was like, fuck it, I just got to watch this chick because she was doing drugs and shit. And she comes here, my grandfather was on hospice at the time. This is all the shit that this fucking computer does. So if you had a relationship and you're now sexually desocialized, don't feel bad. That's all of us. I haven't had a girlfriend in fucking 8 years since that fucking skank. And then she came here. I brought her here. My grandfather was on hospice at the time, so he had a bottle of Ativan. This chick would have never stolen 30 milligrams of Ativan. She fucking went in the cabinet, opened up the bottle, and ate 30 milligrams pregnant of 31 milligram Ativans, a fresh bottle of 90 pills. She was all fucking mangled up. I told the police. The police didn't do shit, so I threw her out of here. Thank God. Her mom came and picked her up and took her the fuck out of here. It was the last time she was ever here. So she ends up having the fucking kid, and I have nothing else to do with her. I try to get this kid. I try to be a part of her life, and it's a whole nightmare. Computer made it a whole nightmare from that point forward. So that's all I got to say about that. But since then, I was sexually desocialized, or I was relationship desocialized from all the relationship problems, yelling and screaming. Not that I wanted anything to do with her, because it was a microwave relationship set up by the AI system through the simulation system. So this has nothing to do with radiation or nothing. This has nothing to do with physical deterioration. This is all simulation based. This is all based in the programming of the simulation system. This has nothing to do with the physical deterioration system or the directed energy. So there's only one relationship that I saw that stayed together. Every single video you will watch on here, it's only one person. It's only me. There's nobody else here. I don't have a girl upstairs. I'm a heterosexual man, so I don't talk about men. I'm not sleeping with men. I'm not doing any bisexual weird shit. I'm a regular dude. I just like women. So I'm always going to be in the reference of a female, a woman, and all that kind of stuff. Not that I care. I don't care what anybody does. But one relationship I've seen that has outlasted the system's abilities to break them apart. It's a couple in Florida. They were on Targeted Justice. If anybody knows what Targeted Justice is, it's a group that is trying to do organization things. They're on YouTube. Look them up, Targeted Justice. He was on there. He had a product that he was trying to develop that would somehow block the incoming signal from the AI supercomputer via neural monitoring. And he said that his wife, this is the odd circumstance where the odd small percentage that the wife is the psychosis victim, the one hearing the voices. She was in and out of mental wards, and they were about to get a divorce. They have a young daughter. They were about to get a divorce until he was searching on the internet and he saw, what is this about chatbots and neural monitoring and remote neural monitoring and telepathy? And he was finding all this stuff about V2K and the system and how long the system's been going on. He said, honey, come here. You know what? Look at this. You have all these symptoms. These are all the same things you're going through, hearing this voice, and they thought you were crazy. You were 302'd. He said, I'm not getting divorced from you. We're staying together. So they stayed together. The daughter, she's having problems. They're even hitting the daughter's fucking brain. She was saying, I'm having forehead pressure. So she was getting her frontal lobe of her brain irradiated. And then in the same video, he said the daughter put soap in the goldfish bowl. So again, this is just the chatbot chatting with her to her subconscious level. She doesn't hear it, but it's controlling her and moving her through the simulation. and it's simulating her movements. So it had her dump soap into the goldfish bowl and kill the fucking goldfish. But the wife is the one hearing the chat bot, and the husband was going to get divorced, but then he found that, and they stayed together. But for the most part, it's a wrap. As soon as you get targeted, that relationship is already previously to your overt targeting starting being degraded with marital discord or relationship problems. And then that is going to start your sexual desocialization. Because how many of you have actually been able to go out there with your targeting going on and go, I'm going to go start a relationship with somebody. I'm going to go find somebody out there, take them out to dinner, treat them nice. You know, for me, that's what I would do. Open a door, open the car door, treat them nice, and give them the best life they would have ever imagined. I say that every day of my life. I'm like, this sucks. I'm the nicest man in the world. Like, I open doors. I'm cordial. I have courtesy. Like, I cook. I bake. I do a lot of things, you know, not that you guys need to hear all that stuff, but like, I'm just like the essence of what you would want your daughter to fucking date. And here I am till the end of my life, probably going to be alone and going to be desocialized from any relationship, because that's how the system works. That's the protocol. And I'll get into something else in a second here. But so my brother was married. He's no longer married. He's divorced. So what happened with him real quick is the same thing. He started doing drugs, was doing methamphetamines and shit, had a business. He has a business still. It didn't get to the point where he had lost his business. He was sleeping at his business. His wife was at home, my sister-in-law, with his son. And, you know, another girl starts working at the tattoo shop, and that whole scenario. Marital discord, relationship problems. He's doing the drugs, so she's at home by herself. And if he would come home, it would be weird, you know, he's all geeked up and she's sitting there, whether she was doing drugs or not, I don't know, but she got into gambling. So he got the drugs, she got the gambling, and he found out she had a shady credit card because the computer probably made her leave a statement. So she didn't get the statement out of the mail one day, and the computer made her specifically not grab a statement out of the mail for a credit card that she opened in just her name. Or, you know, maybe both of their names, whatever. So he told me that. He's like, bro, she opened up this shady credit card, maxed it out, gambling at home. You know, so he hates her for the gambling. She hates him for the drugs and maybe the other woman and sleeping at the shop and being weird and shady. And it just goes on and on and on until that relationship is done. And he's divorced now and he's about to get remarried. So the computer gave him a new wife because she was in his interpersonal circle. He had a girl that was near enough to him that it could integrate her into his simulated life that it was going to give him, this new pathway in life. I had no women around me. It was just her. So when I tossed her in the dump, there was no woman to give to me that was like an associate of me, like a friend or something like that, to throw into her face to make her mind degraded even more and have her all fucked up. So what it did was it gave her a new boyfriend to see how that would affect me. It didn't affect me at all because I didn't give a shit. And that was just a part of her deal. But you have to have somebody near you when your relationship is being blown apart, and then there's a higher probability that you'll be given that person that's near you to formulate a new relationship with. I just didn't, but a lot of targets, nobody has anybody. So let me get rid of the bottom here so I can talk about something else. So all of us are sexually desocialized. How many of you, I want to see anybody that's going to watch this, how many of you are actually actively in a relationship, being targeted, or have gotten into a new relationship since your targeting started and you're doing great? Let me hear about that in the bottom. So my microwave relationship was just hilarious. So it was just something to fucking waste your time. All right. So the other part that sucks for us men is that the computer system controls our wieners, our penises. So Let's see. Let's do it with this. I'm going to leave this up here because I'm going to refer to that. So penile blood pressure is what? What's that called? So when you have high blood pressure in your penis, that's called an erection. That's right. My neighbors are probably listening to this going, what the fuck is he talking about? So it's called an erection. So the computer system, through utilization of blood pressure, it can cause blood pressure in all 100% of your body. High blood pressure, low blood pressure. So one of the protocols through the system that will help continue sexual desocialization is the idea of controlling a man's penis with blood pressure. So it's called virtual penis medicine. In the future, they're going to make millions and millions and billions of dollars off of virtual dick medicine. They're going to be able to give men like that through neurology and erection by giving them high blood pressure to their wiener. So for us, why this is important is because they control the thing that makes us men and the thing that gives us the ability to engage in sex, and that is our penis. Women, they don't have to worry about that. They can go out and just have any man just jam something into them, and it's no big deal. We, on the other hand, have a control mechanism that's integrated into the system. So it controls the blood pressure to our penis. So it also then encourages masturbation. So what is masturbation? It's another form of sexual desocialization. Because if you take care of those chemicals in the brain that's telling you to go find a mate, which is normal by yourself, that's it. You're never going to socialize with somebody in bed sexually. You're just going to take care of yourself. You're going to be the one socializing with yourself. And that is why the computer incites masturbation while giving you blood pressure to your penis and not having you go out and find a mate. So it controls your wiener with blood pressure and then encourages you to masturbate because it will desocialize you from sex with a partner of your choosing, gay, straight, bi, whatever. So that is one of the main problems for us men. Women can just go out there. The only thing that the system can do to women to prevent them from being sexual with men or other, well, specifically men or something being inserted into them like normal sex would be to use the directed energy inside the vagina and burn the inside of their vagina. So that way it's uncomfortable for anything to be inserted into the vagina. And I'm sure that's a primary mode of desocializing women from sexual intercourse, is to somehow burn or harm the vaginal canal. God. That's the only thing that I could think of. All right. Shit. I don't want that to soak into there. Sorry, 1 second. All right. So that happens to me all the time. You know, the computer with the high blood pressure giving you erections. And then, you know, if you're not a weirdo and you know you can't have a relationship with anybody out there, because how are you going to do that? You know, the computer controls us men, our penis. So we have a step down from the women who don't have a high blood pressure mechanism or a low blood pressure mechanism to control if you can or can't have sex. They just have a canal that they can stick things into, which the computer, like I said, can burn, would be the only way to desocialize them sexually. So let's get down to this real quick. It'll encourage masturbation on a regular basis as a form of associated sexual desocialization, because those precursory chemicals in the brain that would normally have us go search for a mate, go find somebody beautiful or find somebody that we find attractive to take out those chemicals on for just, sexual intercourse or maybe procreation. That's why those chemicals are there, to incite procreation within the species. It takes our problem here, penis blood pressure, and either gives it to us, and then it doesn't encourage you to go out there and find a girlfriend or neurally monitor a female that you may see that you find beautiful and have her simulated to come home with you and do things with you. No. Quite the opposite of that. It'll have people pushed away from you through neural monitoring while you're around them, if you're around them. And then it will encourage you, if you go a day or two, normal chemicals in the brain, it'll encourage you with blood pressure to your wiener to go and touch yourself. So that way you're alleviated from ever even having a thought of going out there and finding a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, a whatever, somebody to sleep with and have sex with, specifically men, because I'm talking about the penis. And yeah, that's how it keeps you sexually desocialized. So now to the opposite of this, let's talk about low blood pressure. So we got penis blood pressure, erection, right? Let's talk about low blood pressure. There's a protocol called scared turtle. So let me erase this here. Let me erase a little bit of this here. We're going to talk about the scared turtle protocol for a second. Happened to me. I told you this shit happened to me. So that relationship I was telling you about, the microwave relationship, my daughter's mother. So one of the last times I had sex with her, the scared turtle protocol was used on me. So we'll just do this, and then we'll just write, let's do this. All right. So the scared turtle protocol. So what does a male wiener look like, a male penis look like when it's shriveled up? You get out of the pool, let's say, if anybody knows Seinfeld, when George gets out of the pool and the chick sees his wiener and it's all shriveled up and shrunk up and it looks like a tiny wiener like that. And you see a turtle's head back in the shell. When it's scared and it pulls its head back into the shell, looks like a scared turtle. Like your wiener has shrunken on itself and it's just your wiener head sitting there. So that's why I called it the scared turtle protocol. So what it does is, if it's going to give you an erection, it raises the blood pressure. So when you take a dick medicine pill, it gives you high blood pressure to your penis. So the opposite of that is alleviating blood pressure to your penis and shrinking it so far back that it shrinks into your pelvis. And it looks like a scared turtle. So that happened to me. The example for me was in the middle of sex. Things are going fine, no problem. And then all of a sudden, don't you know, about 10 minutes in or so, I'm like, wow, that's weird. My wiener just shrank and it will not go back up. No problem. I had no issues. Everything was fine. Like that. The computer decided, well, why not? It wasn't a human. It was an AI system computer, automated program that enacted the scared turtle on me. I couldn't finish. That was it. So I tapped out. And that was it. And that was the one time the scared turtle protocol was used on me. Not sure why, what the big deal was, but the system's harming all of us every day, no matter if it's sexual desocialization, no matter if it's physical deterioration, no matter if it's psychological deterioration. Because for me, I get physically sad when I think about how many days of my life I've had to go without having somebody that I could share my life with, share a laugh with, share a hug with, share a meal with. And it makes me physically sad because I know what I have to give to a girlfriend, to a wife. I had that idea in my head that, man, I was going to have this family, have a couple of kids, and things would be fine, not knowing that there was a computer system that they linked into every human's fucking brain and they just randomly decide what they want to do to us, harm us, do all kinds of weird, dumb shit with us. So the scared turtle protocol is low blood pressure. And this is why women have it so much easier. Only thing they got to worry about is having their vaginal canal burnt. Low blood pressure to penis is the scared turtle protocol. So while you're in the middle of intercourse, your dick will shrink and it won't come back. And that's all neurological and physiological because you have integrated nanoparticulate matter throughout your body that makes all of this possible. So with that in mind, who the hell thinks that they can go out there into society with a computer program linked into us? Women can. Women can go out there. They got it fucking way easier than we do on this program. Way the fuck easier. They can go out there and shove anything they want to. We have to worry about, even if the computer lets us go out there and socialize with people, that we have to worry about a computer that at any time we come back here a couple of dates later, usually not the first date, second, third, fourth, fifth date, lets us get all the way that deep. And then you bring the girl back to your place. She wants to stay over, sleep over. We all know how that goes. You make the move. And then whether it lets you get an erection at first or not, who knows? But then it'll eventually give you the low blood pressure and you'll be embarrassed. And she'll say, you know what? It's okay. It happens. She'll give you a chance. But then if it happens the second time, maybe a third time if you're lucky, that's it. She's gone. And you just wasted all your time with somebody you may actually have liked or loved. And that is when the computer will do it. The computer will do it when it's somebody you like or love, especially love. You have commonality. You have things that you can get along with. Endless conversation, endless happiness. That's when the computer will do this shit. When you're endlessly happy, when you see somebody across from you that you could see spending the rest of your life with. For me, that's not a foreign idea. I was never somebody throughout life that was like, oh, I gotta bang this chick and bang that chick and do this and do that. I was just somebody that wanted to find somebody that I genuinely got along with and genuinely liked and then learned to love over the course of time. And, you know, there's a lot of people. I just don't have an opportunity to get to know them enough to find out if that's something that would have ever worked. Obviously, it's not going to work now. I'm in the middle of a termination protocol, as we see here. That's the numbers to your death. And as I speak to you, I'm getting hit in the mouth. I'm getting shot in the tongue. Directed energies hitting my tongue, you know, which will then incite cancer in the intraoral cavity, it's called. So, but that's sexual desocialization. Let's see how far we are. 48 minutes, the usual. So that's sexual desocialization. If any of you out there that have been targeted, are targeted, not been targeted, doesn't stop. Any of you out there that are targeted, let me know in the comments if you have a fucking relationship going on. Because again, another comment was somebody would not look down at their crotch because the computer AI system, because that's a catalyst. I can't do the calculations here, but all it is just a computer code. It's just a variable that's plugged in that the computer, the AI system has a response to. And if you keep doing it, it's going to keep doing the same thing because it's going to know what bothers you. So your marriages are over, your boyfriend, girlfriend shit's over, the kids are a question mark. They're a huge question mark. Where are they going to go? Who are they going to go with? They're sure as hell not going to go with the person that's here in the chat bot. Sure as hell not going to do that because they're going to say, oh, you're scary. You're nuts. That's what got pinned on me. I was scary and I was, ooh. But she was a dope fiend. She was a drug addict, yo. She was getting high while she was pregnant. Didn't matter. I was desocialized. I had nobody with me fighting for my little girl. All those times in court by myself, sitting there, going up against everybody else that decided I was a bad person, that decided I was somebody that didn't need to raise a kid, that I was somebody, I already raised 3 kids that weren't mine, taught a little girl how to ride a bike, taught a little baby from the first day all the way through 6 years, feeding him in his high chair, protecting him, making sure he was okay all of those years. And it all turned around on me with the help of a supercomputer simulation system and invisible energy going into people's fucking heads because they're walking cell phones. Computer just told me that, so figured I'd use it. Walking cell phones. They're walking fucking cell phones. Everybody on this planet. If you think you're going to file a lawsuit and it's all going to stop, if you think you got the fucking solution, you're going to go here, I'm going to run there, I'm going to write this person, I'm going to tell these people. I'm all ears, please. Let me know. Make a video and send it to me. You know, if you want my email address, let me know. You can send me a video, however you want to do it. Let me know what your ideas are, but this is a fact. Why the fuck would they start this shit on you if they didn't mean to desocialize you from the rest of the humans out there? Just because you go out to work, just because you go out and you make money, that's all something. In my last video, the video where I say, if you're feeling the directed energy, you're not okay. That's all to keep you blind to the real idea that you are not even alive. You're a walking dead person. They give you a little bit of money. They give you a little bit of gas in your car. They give you a job. You run. Because what does that do? That keeps you busy trying to pay your bills and pay the taxes. And you're not even going to live to retirement. You're not going to collect Social Security. All you're doing is paying for somebody else to get Social Security. You're not going to live that long. You're going to catch a bad physical illness at some point, whether it's a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. They have all the time in the world because more than likely you didn't have a major medical problem when they started targeting you overtly. The covert people are just going to show up with the problem. They're never going to know anything's going on. They're never going to know they were manipulated or physically harmed with directed energy. They're never going to know any of that. So they're just going to be the ones that are covert cases that'll never be written down as, holy shit, 10,000 more, 20,000, 30,000 more. Somebody today got cancer, showed up with cancer at a doctor's office. Oh, you got this cancer, you got that cancer. They didn't even know it came from a fucking computer program. So that's it. Just wanted to go over the sexual desocialization, how there's microwave relationships. It'll keep you in a relationship, put you in a relationship just to degrade your life and fucking waste your years. Kids are in flux. Who the fuck knows where they're going to go? You may have to pay child support. You might not. If you're married, you won't be married. That's a given. I mean, it's been 100% of my family. My brother Eric has not had a relationship. My brother Brad has not had a relationship. My mom, my stepdad fucking ran away. He stopped working and just fucking went away. My dad, he's got the cancer. My grandfather got blinded in one eye. My brother Joey, like I said, he got a divorce. He's about to get married again in October. Got 2 new kids. So yeah, the penis, low, high blood pressure, scared turtle protocol. I'm sure you guys have had men. Can't speak to the women because you don't have high blood pressure penises or low blood pressure scared turtle dicks. I've had it all happen to me, man. If I look at some pornographic films, the computer will give me a high blood pressure erection. It's automated. It is fucking automated. As soon as you look at a naked chick, for me, I'm heterosexual. As soon as I look at my preferred females, you know, I won't get into what my preferred females are, but typically, you know, I look at 90s porn stars, 2000s porn stars. I'm a bit of an old head, but that's typically for me. Solo chicks, doing things. You know, I'm just a dude that likes good looking women. Yeah, so as soon as I look at that, of course, boom, ready to go. Because the computer is ready to desocialize you. It wants you to do that because it's a form of control and sexual desocialization. It's a control mechanism. Everything, that's a good point. Computer's not wrong. So that's how you know this shit is deadly, because it tells me what to tell you, which makes sense. That's how you know they don't give a fuck. The computer people don't give a fuck what you tell each other, what you fucking who knows what. Nobody gives a shit. We'll be dead long before anybody ever stops doing this shit. So it's literally another control mechanism. It's literally just a control mechanism. This right here, this simulated wiener, this red marker, it's just a control mechanism. When it goes up and it goes down and you do this with it, this is all just shit people need to talk about. When you do this with it, when it goes down, when it goes up, the computer controls all of it. Again, ladies, I can't speak to you guys, but I'm sure it gets into your head, gets you all hornied up with emotional manipulation, gets you to go grab something, take care of yourself. You never go back out to find a man to have a reciprocating emotional connection, which will then help your brain and your mind out, because you have somebody to give you a hug, somebody to wipe your tears, somebody to kiss you, somebody to make you smile and laugh and everything. When you're down, they pick you up. And when you're up, they ride up with you. They want to lift you up higher. That's what the computer doesn't want. They don't want you to have anybody until the day you die from the system itself. So that's it. Thanks again to everybody that reaches out. Anybody from now until the future, if you reach out to me and you ask me how I'm doing, I appreciate that. I really do. It's just a little piece of humanity that we can give each other in the face of something so dehumanizing, something so disgusting that nobody gives a shit about us out here. So if we can at least, look out for each other a little bit, that'd be great. But that's it. I hope wherever you are and whoever you are and whatever you're doing, that you find a little bit of peace through my videos, a little bit of understanding. And I wish I had the answer for anybody out there. I really do. I give this presentation of this guy. If you saw me in my daily life, it's so wild, Like, I have so many people that have this false perception of me and it's not a negative perception. They have a positive false perception of me, that they think this life that I live is like something awesome, that, oh man, he must have it all. I go out there and I make people smile. I make people laugh. I try to do my best to be positive with people. And it's something that I never did in my life. And through this system, I finally got a chance to do that. Unfortunately, it's through a system that means to end my life at some point. But yeah, they have this perception that, man, this guy must have it all. He's got half decent looks, which I've never been able to do anything with, because I'm not a guy that runs up to women and initiates a conversation, contact, or any type of initiation to let them know that I'm feeling some sort of positive way about them, that I would like to engage with them and be more than just a friend and maybe go do something personally with them. So that's why I was always desocialized anyway. So this computer wasn't doing anything new. I had 3 or 4 or 5 girlfriends throughout my life, and not for extended periods of time. 6 years here, yeah, that's a long time. A couple months here, a year there, whatever, but nothing crazy. So this computer didn't really accomplish really much of anything by targeting me and desocializing me from women. It was something that was already going on anyway. I mean, that's no big fucking deal, So it's not really a great accomplishment to end my life. Nothing major is going to happen. But it's just a sad situation, because I think everybody deserves somebody, at least the people that, like me, have a positive mindset and try to be inspirational and try to do great things for a lot of other people and not be selfish and just be positive. You know, I would have loved to find somebody that I truly get along with, that wasn't a microwave relationship, and be able to give them and have it be reciprocated. You know, it's a two-way street there when you're in a relationship. One loves the other, and you know, one person has their attributes, the other one has theirs, and you come together. And I would have loved, from my perspective, I can only speak about me, to give whatever girl it was the best life she could have ever imagined. So that way, when she got later on in life, when we get later on in life and get old, she would look back. I would ask her and say, do you have any regrets for being with me this long, being married, being together, having these kids? Is there anything that you thought you may have wanted to do that would have been beside me? Have I given you everything? Have we been everything together? When you go back and you have your marriage, you know, your wedding anniversaries and shit like that, and you get those years on, and you just ask and you go, how you feeling now? 10 years, 15, 20, 30. You know, I'm not one of those guys that was ever of the idea that you get married and then you get divorced, then you find another one and you find another one. You just don't do that. You know, if you're happy with somebody, you wait long enough that you know that. And it's such a fucking shitty situation, because every piece of me wanted to give that to somebody out there and give them the best life, only living once, knowing that we only live once, to give them that life and not ruin their life by taking a bunch of years from them and just giving them a shitty life. So that's it. Hope you guys have a good night. Wake up tomorrow. If you're going to get tortured at the middle of the night like me, have your nose clogged from radiation on your face, your fucking brain and shit, your mouth, your tongue, your throat, by this disgusting fucking system. Make the best of it. Fucking, who knows what I can tell you about that. I'll be woken up 2 to 3 times this night. Usually what the computer tries to do is wake me up and then pump into my head the fact that I have to come down here and eat shitty food and fucking do dumb shit with food and eat in the middle of the night. It's how they make people fat. That'll be the next video. But yeah, I'm sure I won't get a restful night's sleep. It's always the same shit. Wake up 2 to 3 times a night. It'll wake my dad up. It's a fucking nightmare. But try to make the best of it. I pray for all of you guys. Not that that matters, but, you know, because unfortunately this Jesus and this God shit doesn't supersede a supercomputer. So that's it. We're at the 1 hour mark. Please feel free, subscribe, comment. Just know that nothing has stopped with me, for me. It's still the same shit every day. And I hope that it stops for you, whoever you are, wherever you are. I really mean that. And I hope that you're able to get your life back, that you're able to be with your kids, that you're able to do all the things that I'm wishing in this video that I could do. Because God damn it, some days I want to fucking hug, you know, and there isn't anybody. So that's it. This will be left behind. Like all the other videos from all the other people. YouTube is just awash in fucking snuff videos of people that are being put to death left and right. And nobody cares. Doesn't matter. And that's the shitty part. No matter how much I know, no matter how much I taught myself, that it does not matter, because there is no negotiating with a computer program that is programmed to kill us. So that's it. I apologize for the shitty ending of this to say that, but that's just what it is. Hope you guys have a good night, and there's going to be more videos. So please don't give up and inspire other people with the time you have. Do the best you can and be positive. And that's it. Hope you guys have a good night and have a good day tomorrow.